About one of the wide receivers in the draft. How about the wide receivers in free agency? NFL.com has 8 on their list of the top 101 free agents, including Amari Cooper, who they have ranked number 2. Cowboys have said that they want to keep him in Dallas, but they haven't signed or tagged him yet, so it's possible that he'll get a chance to test the market. If he does, JJ, will he find a better home elsewhere?
You know, I'm looking at him and I'm saying, man, the Cowboys are not going to be able to keep him.
Really?
So I am going to move Amari Cooper. And I'm moving Amari Cooper. Let's move him to the...
Where are we going?
Pittsburgh Steelers. Listen, we've seen Juju when he has a big-time number 1 on the other side of him in AB, and he dominates. Number 2 receiver, get over there on the number 2 corners, he dominates. Get a guy like Coop on the other side of him with him and Big Ben, and now we're talking about a very good duo that could do a lot of damage. This is a true number 1 wide receiver right here in Amari Cooper. Very special. Put him with Juju.
How about A.J. Green, who is expecting to get franchise tagged by the Cincinnati Bengals? Who out there should be crossing their fingers that doesn't happen?
Well, I think whoever gets A.J. Green, they're basically telling their quarterback that, listen, we're trying to help you out, so don't worry about it. You can stay here. So, look, I am taking him. I am putting him. Where am I going? No. I am going with
Not that one.
Not that one. Where is it? With the Patriots. Listen, Tom Brady, free agent. We're about to make a splash and let you know we want you here. We are going to get you some big-time weapons. We are going to get you A.J. Green to go out there with Julian Edelman, and we are going to make sure we keep you here in free agency, too.
Ooh, boy. So Emmanuel Sanders is up next.
Yeah.
He was great for the Niners this year, but he says that he hasn't had any talks with them so far about a new deal. What's the best fit for him?
Well, you watched him go over there in that San Francisco 49ers offense, and he had an instant impact. He's coming off Achilles surgery, and he still balled out this year. Year 2 after the surgery, he's going to dominate again, and I'm not even touching his jersey because he is going to stay right here with the San Francisco 49ers and come back with Shanahan and Jimmy G and George Kittle and Deebo Samuels, and they are going to have a big-time offense.
So they haven't offered him yet, according to him, but they should, according to you.
Absolutely.
Robbie Anderson's been with the Jets for 4 years. He told ESPN this morning that he had a dream last night about playing with Tom Brady.
Oh.
What's your dream for Robbie?
I didn't have that dream. But my dream that I had does make me smile because I'm changing Robbie. And you know when I smile, you know what that means when I got a big cheese on my face. That means to the Green Bay Packers. Devontae Adams and Robbie Anderson on the same team. You're talking about speed and big boy catches. You're talking about quick releases and big boy catches. A big-time duo for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Okay, so we would get him a new jersey. We'd get him a new quarterback.
We're going to get him all that. We're going to get him a lineup and all that type of stuff.
New hair, picture.
And all that.
Okay.
We're going to get him right.
We won't have to wait long to see if you are onto something with any of this. Free agency just a week away, and our free agency frenzy coverage coming up even sooner than that on Sunday. As for the draft, we've got a Path to the Draft Pro Day special tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Oregon's Justin Herbert throwing live within that window, and then the 2020 NFL Draft presented by Verizon is Thursday, April 23rd.
Well, back to Pro Day coverage now. Oklahoma had theirs today. 13 former Sooners took part. Linebacker Kenneth Murray did not do drills today. He's going to rest on his solid combine performance. Our mock drafts have him as a first-round pick. I turn to the 4th overall pick in the 1994 draft, Willie McGinnis. Who does Murray remind you of?
Well, there's a lot of players that fit the mold, but one guy that stands out is Fred Warner, San Francisco linebacker, a guy who's very rangy, probably around the same weight, same height, a guy who can cover a lot of ground. You talk somebody who plays really well in space, able to track the ball, great ball skills, and in today's game, you got to be able to play really, really good in space. And then you talk about being a willing tackler, somebody who's going to affect the pocket, stick his nose up in there, make the big-time plays, and a blitzer that can do it all. It's Fred Warner. So look at it. Compare him when you see him on tape. The comparison is simple. Point of attack, right here. Willing hitter. He's going to get up in there, control the line of scrimmage. Watch this. Drive the feet. Great tackle right there. Use his shoulder pads and finish. Now we talk about tracking, sideline to sideline. Very important. Diagnose the play, see it, track him down, open field in space. That's a running back. Good job. Closing speed with great vision. sees it, be able to change, make the play, track down a quarterback, and make a great play. So when you talk about comparisons and what you're able to do and the versatility within the position, this kid has it all.
Trying to become the first Oklahoma defender to go in the first round of the draft since Gerald McCoy, believe it or not. Got to go back 10 years. Yeah, the last time Oklahoma had a defender first round. Well, mock drafts have our next guest selected in the third round by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's a top 50 prospect, a top 10 cornerback, and number one on our list of guests. Coming up, it's Jeff Gladney. Stay with us. Oh, goodness. I am reminded of the internet meme. Find someone who looks at you the way James Jones looks at Jameis Winston, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm trying to tell you.
Are you sticking with your hot take as we are right before free agency?
Absolutely. $100 million Jameis Winston, man. And listen, I want to tell everybody, the first 5 years of Peyton Manning's career, he had a 82% passer rating.
Okay.
All right? 257 yards passing per game. Jameis Winston, 274 yards passing per game. Interceptions Peyton Manning threw, 105 seasons. Jameis, 88. Why is everybody so quick to give up on Jameis Winston? Jameis Winston has been with so many different offensive coordinators, but when you turn on the tape, I know everybody wants to talk about the picks, but I see $100 million throws. This right here is a $100 million throw by the quarterback. Throwing it before the receiver is even getting into his route. The secondary has no way to even make a play on the ball. Then right here, we got a bang post. Set your feet. The receiver ain't even out of his break yet. Jameis Winston, ball is out of his hands. Big time throw in a big time game. Jameis Winston. These are $100 million throws. And then right here, another bang post. Tight coverage. Ball only where his receiver can get the ball. I say it time and time again. He throws his receivers open, and that's what $100 million quarterbacks do. That's what very good quarterbacks do. And everybody want to talk about Jameis's picks, but it was a lot of interceptions that went straight through his wide receiver's hands.
Define a lot.
But you know, quarterbacks always get the blame. But it was at least about 10 interceptions that go straight through his receiver's hands, ball in the air,
all right,
tips and overthrows. Jameis Winston gets the interception, but the receivers did not help him out on a lot of those. But I still believe in Jameis. And I want to say this. Besides Dak Prescott and Tom Brady, he's the best free agent quarterback out there. We've seen what Teddy Bridgewater and Ryan Tannehill did when they were at the starter for their football teams. It was not good. Jameis Winston is the best quarterback besides Dak Prescott and Tom Brady in free agency.
Bruce Arians is on record as saying he wants to look at what's behind door number 2
everybody wants
before he sticks with his incumbent guy. And James, that's the word on James Jones. I don't know what percentage you're getting of that, whatever it is, but you've earned every dime of it. Hey, by the way, tomorrow on NFL Total Access, we are going to talk with one of Jameis Winston's teammates. It's Shaq Barrett, led the league in sacks this past year. He's our special guest on NFL Total Access tomorrow. Hey, guys, the timeline for the week ahead, we are heading into a massive week that's going to determine so much of the future of pro football. Saturday at almost midnight, the players' vote on the CBA will end. We should know by Sunday morning whether or not we have a new collective bargaining agreement. On Monday, right before noon, the franchise transition tag deadline hits. Then later, 1 minute later, that is, the negotiating window opens up for agents to talk to prospective free agents and current clubs that will pay them money. And on Wednesday, the starter pistol begins the new league year at 4 o'clock Eastern.
A lot of pro days in the days ahead, too, and there was a pretty big one today in Oklahoma with several top-tier guys on the field, including a quarterback who came in second in the Heisman voting and is currently projected as a day 2 pick in the draft. That is Jalen Hurts, one of the Sooners that James Palmer and Lance Zierlein caught up with today in Norman.
Releases, how posed you're in the pocket, what about your footwork, what happens when the pressure is on you. And guys like me used to hunt these quarterbacks, so we know what to look for. But the other thing to look for and to understand is these guys are playmakers. He's played against the best competition at the highest level for a long time. He will perfect some of those things that they're talking about as well.
And I just feel like everybody knows what he can do with his legs, but I feel like every time he goes out on this football field, he's checking every box of using his arm and throwing out of the pocket, the footwork and things like that. You've seen him at the Senior Bowl, standing in the pocket, throwing the ball. You've seen him at the Combine, flick of the wrist, throwing the ball. And then at his pro day, the same thing. All they talked about was his footwork and how the ball was coming out of his hands. So that's impressive, especially for him. We know you can run. We know you can make plays out of the pocket, but can you stand in the pocket and make some of these NFL throws? And he continues to keep showing them.
Well, he's been training down in Atlanta since his season ended, and one of the Oklahoma wideouts said that he noticed a difference today in his mechanics. And we will hear what Jalen thought of his performance a little bit later on NFL Total Access.
We had Wisconsin Pro Day today. A lot of eyes on the All-American running back Jonathan Taylor. He did drills today. He did not run the 40-yard dash. His 4.39 at the Combine was good enough for him in the books. Word is he looked very good catching passes today, which you see him doing right